Hello, class. This week we were tasked with using the ProQuest newspaper historical database to find articles that could be used to present a compelling story for a presentation at a local historical society. So again, I challenged myself to go outside of my research interests of Gettysburg or Abraham Lincoln and try to find a event that occurred more recently that had more articles from this database, because most of the articles were from the 20th and 21st century. So again, I challenged myself to try and find something that was more close to where I grew up, which is in central Pennsylvania. So I thought, what better of an event that really grasped the nation than the 3 Mile Island nuclear disaster that happened in the late 70s. So on March 28th, 1979, the United States held its breath as one of the largest um, nuclear plants located in central Pennsylvania, right outside of Harrisburg. The 3 Mile Island nuclear plant had a partial meltdown due to a failure in one of its non-nuclear secondary systems in its Unit 2 reactor. This would lead to a release of radioactive gases and radioactive iodine into the environment that threatened the citizens of Pennsylvania as being one of the largest radioactive disasters that happened not only in the nation, but for context, this happened 7 years prior to the Chernobyl disaster in the eastern part of the world. So, the ProQuest historical newspaper database, I was able to find a lot of really good sources, a lot of articles from newspapers that have kept up on the incident and have shown articles and newspaper clippings of when the accident occurred, how it has been received, and the history and how it's been viewed over time. But I tried to find articles right after the incident happened to really showcase the fear and how people were really reacting at the time, because this was an unheard of event with this nuclear radiation that was exposing a lot of people in the area. And with Chernobyl not happening, this was one of the big moments in our nation's history and even world's history of having a nuclear meltdown that caused a lot of anxiety and stress for a lot of Americans and other citizens in the world. So the articles that I found 3 articles, all from the New York Times. They each helped to illuminate the danger, causes, and the reactions to that disaster that shook the state, nation, and the world. So the first article I found was the 3 Mile Island Notes from a Nightmare. 3 Mile Island, a chronicle of the nation's worst nuclear power accident. It documented key moments that led to the accident the following days, where the plant desperately scrambled to resolve the reactor's radiation that emitted into the surrounding area, threatening central Pennsylvania. The next article, Files Show Many Prior Problems at 3 Mile Island, Problems in February, Criticism by Scientists, reveal critical errors that were left untouched and neglected that would lead to this devastating disaster. So it really illuminated the need for the government to step in and enforce stronger controls to not only 3 Mile Island, but for other nuclear power plants in the country, to enforce stronger controls to prevent issues and to allow for quick solutions if future issues would arise at these power plants. And then the last article, Pennsylvania's governor says area is now safe for pregnant women. So this article reveals the desperate concern that leaked radiation could have devastating effects on pregnant women, as well as broadcasting that these 2-week long hiatus where the country and Pennsylvania held their breath of what is happening. Is this going to be resolved? What is our future going to look like with this radiation exposure had now ended, and that the media and the governor with the government was saying that you can go back to life as normal. So thank you. I hope this discussion video kind of brought to light the 3 Mile Island disaster if it isn't familiar to you. Certainly a unique part of Pennsylvania history that some people tend to forget or are reminded that we are a significant part of nuclear history in our country. But I hope you all have a great week and take care.